Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to Wildhaus, Switzerland, and our DACH Women's Final 2025. The STIHL Timbersports is in the house today, and we are looking forward to some fantastic action. Starting the day off, it is a busy day, by the way, starting the day off with our women's final, and we are going to have a great competition here, including 4 disciplines and 8 women competing for the title of DACH champion. As you see, coming down with the drone to our location here. A nice audience on hand, and there are our 2 German commentators who you'll see frequently on screen here today. Guido Hüsken on the right-hand side, and former competitor Sean Usch on the left-hand side as your sport expert. And they will be guiding our German-speaking fans through the show today. My name is Troy Mannering. I'll be taking care of the English side of things, and I will do my best to also give you the occasional translation for our on-stage interviews. As I said, we do have a very busy day today. We start our day off with the women's final, and then we are going a little later in the afternoon to our men's competition, and that should be very interesting. There's a lot at stake for our DACH men, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, so there will be explanations coming up for that, but in the meantime, we're going to head over to our main stage and introduce you some of the key players that are going to be taking care of business for our competition here today. And there we have Julian Torner. He is our sideline reporter, our field reporter on stage. He will also be joined by David Bira from time to time as they do keep that audience live and enthralled in the action that is on stage. In the meantime, he will be taking care of the introductions of some of the key players, as I mentioned, that we'll see up on stage. So we'll get to that shortly here as we get ready to start our STIHL Timbersports DACH Women's Final 2025. So first and foremost, we have our Global Sports Director who will be coming up on stage, Spike Milton. And also on stage, keeping things fair for our athletes, we will have 2 judges. They'll be watching the action up there and making sure that there are no false starts or anything like that. We have Bart Janssen and Andrew Hall. There's Bart.
Wiederum aus Großbritannien, Andy Hall.
And here comes Andrew Hall. Now those 2 gentlemen are responsible for what's happening on stage. Spike Milton responsible for the entire competition action here today. And of course, we do also have many high-speed cameras on stage, and that will be taken care of by Jules Janssen in our competition control center. And we'll get a quick peek inside the competition control center. There's Jules and all of the camera action that he has to take care of throughout the day. Very important job he has to make sure that our starts are fair and everything is running smoothly on stage there as well for our athletes. Speaking of the athletes, we are going to bring them up on stage right now. From the Netherlands, Saskia van Drielen recently got 3rd place. And now bringing out from Great Britain, Kat Eccles. Next, coming up onto the stage, another British athlete, Rachel Farrington, who recently got the world record for women in the stock saw.
aus Frankreich.
And
Julia
now coming up
Barwicki.
onto the stage, a French athlete, Julia Barwicki. A diminutive young athlete, but man, is she fantastic. She can really chop.
Ihre
Also from
Landsfrau
France,
aus
Haute
Frankreich.
STIHL.
Haute STIHL.
Next up on stage will be the first of two Austrian athletes. Juliana Einfalt will be coming up now.
Aus Österreich, Juliana Einfalt.
And next up, also from
Ebenfalls
Austria,
aus Österreich,
Johanna Loretz.
Loretz.
And finally,
Und
coming
die
up
letzte
onto
Athletin auf
stage,
der
our
Bühne
one and only
aus
German
Deutschland,
competing today for the
Alrun
women,
Übing.
Alrun Übing.
Somit alle Athletinnen des
So here we have a
DACH-Finales der
fantastic
Frauen
lineup of
2025.
exceptionally
Auf der
talented
Bühne,
women
sie
timber
haben
sports
sich, den
athletes,
Minuten
and we're
zuvor
looking
im
forward to an
Backstage
excellent
vorbereitet. Das
competition
Holz ist
here
bereit,
today.
das
There we see
Material
Rachel
ist
Farrington,
bereit
as I
und das
mentioned, world
Publikum
record
ist es
holder
bereit.
in the stock saw. Will she be able to best that
Damit
here today?
einen
It's going to be a tough one. It's a
wunderbaren
very
Wettkampf in
fast
dieser
time.
wunderbaren
And we will now
Berglandschaft
clear the
steht nichts mehr im
stage and
Wege.
set things
Und
up
somit
for
zurück
our
ins
first
Studio.
discipline, and that is the stock saw. But before then, we are going to take a look at how this competition will be formatted and run throughout the day with a quick view of our competition format clip.
The STIHL Timbersports Women's Competition, all athletes will compete in 4 disciplines. The maximum points awarded for each discipline result from the number of participating athletes. The first discipline is the stock saw. The fastest athlete will receive points equal to the total number of athletes competing, down to 1 point for the last place in each discipline. The second event is the standing block chop. Points remain the same, awarded based on times, and as with all events, any rule infraction will result in a disqualification and the athlete will receive 0 points for that discipline. As the third discipline, every competitor will need to show their skill in the single butt. And in the underhand chop, it's the athlete's last chance to claim valuable points. The points from all disciplines are accumulated, and the athlete with the highest point total wins the competition.
Okay, so 4 disciplines today, and it is going to go by pretty quickly. We will start things off with the stock saw, then go to the standing block chop, then to the single buck, and then the underhand chop. No eliminations throughout this competition. Like in the men's competition, they will compete in all 4 disciplines throughout the entire day. And as mentioned, our first discipline is the stock saw. Let's take a quick look here at the tool and discipline for stock saw, and we'll show you what that's all about shortly.
The STIHL MS661CM stock saw is used in STIHL Timbersports as the ultimate test of operator skill. Designed for the toughest jobs in forestry, it produces approximately 7.3 horsepower, has a displacement of 91.1 cc, and weighs 7.4 kilograms. To ensure evenly and fairly matched saws, professional steel technicians prepare and test the saws before each competition. Stock saw. After the starting shot, the contestants have to cut 2 wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark, one downward and one upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
All right, there's our start list for stock size. You see there will be 2 athletes on stage against each other at any given time. And as I mentioned, this is not an elimination competition. This is about getting the fastest time possible and then gaining the points based on your standing in the discipline to try and move forward as quickly and as well pointed as possible. So our first heat, Julia Barwicki from France going up against Johanna Loretz from Austria. You can see by the tail of the tape their personal bests are pretty close together. Julia Barwicki opting to go for the full safety headgear. Many athletes will wear simply ear protection and glasses, and it is a personal preference. And you can see Johanna Loretz is going for the small in-ear protection and glasses in this case.
Okay, ladies, warm up your saws.
So again, our athletes on stage will have to cut 2 complete cookies off that block inside a 10-centimeter mark. A cutout, meaning that is an incomplete cookie,
ready.
or a cut line will mean a disqualification.
3,
Here we go.
2, 1, go!
Oh, very nice start by Johanna Lorenz, and Julia Barwicki already got a cutout there, so she has to start again. Transition for Johanna was very, very good, and she's got the cut done in 12.88. That is a Austrian season's best. Julia Barwicki still cutting through in a 17.88. So she had the wherewithal to see that she had a cutout. She started very thin on that first cut, and you can see she is clearly disappointed by that. She had to go in and start the cut again in order to get a complete cookie on the deck and make sure she had 2 complete cookies, and the cut is fair.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, so we do have fair cuts across the board there, and Johanna Loretz with a 12.75. Our graphic showed season's best, but that was unfortunately incorrect there. It was a very nice start from Johanna Loretz. She got into the cut very quickly. You see there that she stepped in a little bit. It's a fairly thick piece on her first cut, so she had to really be careful not to over-transition to the upcut, but she did a fantastic job. That second cookie was about as good as it gets. And you can see on the replay, Julia Barwicki had a cutout to start, and she kept her wits about her, stayed calm and cut down. So right now, 12.75 is the time to beat for our women. And unfortunately for Julia Barwicki, it's a little bit slower than expected. She probably would have been around the 13-second mark without that cutout. So we'll see how that fares for her as the competition continues. So first heat is done, and we are into the action here at the 2025 STIHL Timbersports DACH Women's Final. And we're going to bring out our next 2 athletes, Aude Siel and Alren Übing. Alren is very, very adept with the saw in hand, so keep a close eye on how well she cuts. And she's been a top contender for many years in the German scene and has competed often in the international scene as well. And as you see, she holds the national record for Germany at 9.60 Aude STIHL. She has the national record for France at 11.40. She's got a little bit of work to get that speed up, but the blocks have been cutting really well this season, so we may see good times come from both of these women here today. Let's just see how it all boils down, given the altitude and the weather conditions here right now.
Okay, ladies. Warm up your shores.
You can see some of the athletes will pick up the saws and practice their hits. Alren is so well practiced, she just starts that saw and gets going. Here we go.
1, go!
Oh, very quick start by Alren. Aude STIHL also in it quick. Oh, a little bit of a sticky one for Aude. And Alren struggling to find that transition to the upcut. She's got a cutout, and she needs to reposition. Aude STIHL with a 13.41. Very nice cut. Second place for her at the moment. And Alren Übing, uncharacteristically, couldn't find the transition clean. Had a cutout and then had to reposition. So hopefully she's got a clean cookie on the deck there. And that will put her in third place for the moment in stock saw. Let's see what the judges have to say.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, so we have scores on the board for all four of our athletes thus far. Johanna Loretz is the fastest and still maintains that top position. You can see here it was a little bit of a slower start for Aude STIHL, and Alren got right into it, but she went a little over her marked line that she set for herself. And so at the bottom of her cut here, she had a very big cookie, and her transition needed to be very carefully set. And you can see here, she had a bit of a cutout and had to reposition as close as possible to that line in order to get a complete cookie. And she'd given herself a little bit more space by really targeting on that set line that she put on the block for herself. She would have been a lot safer for the transition. And that was, like I said, an uncharacteristic cut for Alren Übing. So a quick stage cleanup and new saws brought into place. And we have Saskia van Drielen up against Julia Einfalt. Very evenly matched up heat here between these two. Both of them holding national records for their respective countries. 10.61 and a 10.29. Tail of the tape gives a slight advantage to Juliana Einfalt. But Saskia van Drielen has been cutting with the stock saw very well this season.
Okay, ladies. Warm up your shores. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Excellent start by Juliana Einfalt. Saskia van Drielen struggling a little bit. She pushed maybe a little bit too hard. Whoa! That was a fantastic transition by Juliana Einfalt on the upcut. Barely any swing at all. And Saskia van Drielen a little bit slower than usual here. And hopefully she didn't cut out that line. Looks like it might be okay. I still see a little bit of blue there, but it is a close to the edit cut for Saskia van Drielen. Juliana Einfalt, however, had a very nice transition. Two really good cookies on the deck here. Let's see.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Okay, so Juliana Einfalt takes the top spot with the fastest time so far at 12.59 seconds. And Saskia van Drielen sitting in fourth with a 14.91 time on that cut. Let's take a look back at the slow-mos here. You can see Saskia was a little bit slower on the initial start, and coming to the bottom of the cut here, we'll see this amazing transition from Juliana Einfalt. Hardly any swing at all. She targeted it beautifully. Cookie drops, and she has the fastest time of the day. You can see her supporting that saw on her leg as she pushes through the upcuts. And yeah, we've definitely seen better cuts from Saskia van Drielen. So a little bit of an unlucky start there for her, I believe. That was the problem, because normally we see her get into that wood quite quickly. All right, one more heat to go, and in that heat we have two Brits going up against each other, and one of them happens to be Rachel Farrington, who is the current world record holder in this discipline for the women. She achieved that at the British Championships not too long ago, and so far so good. It's held. Will she be able to cut that or better again? We'll see, but she is definitely the standard at the moment for women's stock saw. And Kat Eccles, a personal best of 9.91. Also nothing to choke at. Very, very good time. Not that far off of Rachel's time. So it could be an interesting battle between these two on stage. And I mean, it really is up to just how you're feeling on the day, knowing the saw, hearing it, feeling it in your hands, and not pushing too hard so that you don't bog that engine down with too much pressure on the chain. It's really about the fine details. It's not a power discipline. Easy discipline to learn, hard discipline to get good at, because it's really about knowing that motor and listening and feeling that saw, the vibrations in your hands and everything.
Okay, ladies, warm up your saws.
Watch these two very similar cutting styles.
Stand to your
Here we go.
timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Kat Eccles in a little bit faster than Rachel Farrington, but she's got a really thin cookie, Rachel. And, oh, Kat Eccles with a quick transition to the upcut. We're not going to see any personal bests here for these two, but Kat Eccles with the fastest time of the day at 12:11. Rachel Farrington surprising a 14:08. Took her a bit to get into that block, but she had a really thin first cookie. Now, hopefully she doesn't have a cutout there. Looks good from my perspective, but we have to leave that final decision up to our judges, Bart Janssen and Andrew Hall.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Okay, so Kat Eccles takes over the top spot in our stock saw results, and because it's the first discipline, that will mean she also has the overall lead. We'll take a quick look back at what happened there with Rachel Farrington on the start of her cut. She was actually in it pretty quickly. You can see the cookie for Kat Eccles is quite a bit bigger. Right at the bottom of Rachel's cut, her chain stopped moving. A little bit too much pressure perhaps there. And then the transition, Rachel had that one. Nice clean cut up, and Kat Eccles was just a hair faster. Okay, so stock saw standings. Kat Eccles in the lead with Juliana Einfalt and Johanna Loretz, the two Austrians in second and third place respectively. And that will coincidentally be our overall standings at the moment after our first discipline. As we get our stage set for our next discipline, you can see Alren Übing also in the mix there. A little bit farther down the list, Julia Barwicki. She struggled with that first cut, the opening cut, a little bit of a cutout. So they have a little bit of work cut out for them at the bottom of the list here, getting 1 and 2 points respectively there. It looks like at the moment, Aude Seele and Rachel Farrington are in good positions in the middle of the pack, coming into disciplines that are strong for both of them, and that's the chopping disciplines. But let's see how they do once they get onto the blocks. At the British Championship, Rachel was one of the only ones to actually cut through the block in the allotted time. It's was the chopping disciplines were a real difficult situation for our women there, with all of the blocks being quite good, but also quite hard. All in all, this season, though, we've had really, really excellent and fair blocks across the board for all of our athletes. So, I mean, you know, they're all competing in the same wood, more or less, as we take a look at our tool and discipline.
The axes used in timber sports
the next
definitely
event
can't be bought at your local hardware
Underhand
store.
chop.
Made from special steel, the blade is hand sanded with an angle of 13 to 16 degrees. It's custom built and carefully adjusted for each competition. The weight is around 3 kilos and it's about 80 centimeters long. The blade is so sharp that you could shave with it. Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 25 centimeters has to be cut through from both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result.
Okay, my apologies, folks. I said underhand chop. It is, in fact, standing block chop coming up next. This is an incredibly difficult discipline to become good at. One of the first disciplines that you learn with an axe in the hand is the underhand chop in order to be able to control the axe properly, and you actually need to qualify in order to be able to compete in the standing block chop with a couple of tests so that our judging crew can see that you do, in fact, have what you need to be able to do the standing block chop safely. Now, the stage is still being set up. World record for women is 26.36 seconds, and that is held by Lauren Bergman from the USA, and she achieved that at this year's US Women's Pro Championship. So that is a target for all of our athletes to aim for, and you can see our crew getting things ready as Johanna Loretz sets her block in place. It is important that the blocks are put in place by the athletes. They do need to set them themselves. They can have somebody help them as well to make sure that they are in position, but it is the responsibility of the athlete to take their block, which they are given in a lottery system so that the block choice is fair. Because so it is a lottery system for these different blocks, and yeah, tons of information coming at you. We'll take a quick look again at the standing order. We will have Heat 1 with just one single athlete. That's Aude Seal. Julia Barwicki, unfortunately, will be not starting in this one. Okay, so Aude Seal will be on stage alone for this one. That's a tough situation to be in as an athlete because it's always much better to have somebody on stage with you to compete against you. It gives you a little bit of a push. So right now she is basically got to do the work on her own to try and get that fast time.
Athlete,
Here we go.
ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
As I mentioned, this is a very, very difficult discipline to become adept at. There's a lot going on here. You have to really make sure your angles are correct, because you don't want to be chopping straight into that block, because you won't actually remove any wood from it, but you have to make sure that your angle isn't too sharp so that the axe skips away on you. And you could see there was a little skip by Aude. Not bad, and she controlled it well. Yeah, this is, as I said, a very difficult discipline. Now, they do have 1 minute and 30 seconds to cut through and make sure that they get through that block in that time limit. If they go beyond that time limit, it will be counted as a DQ. So the motivation is definitely there to make sure you get through that block within that time limit. Aude getting plenty of support from the audience here as people are clapping and encouraging her along as she just passes the minute mark here. She's got to get to that other side and start working from the other side. The block needs to be cut through from both sides, and it's not looking very good at the moment here for Aude as the time is running away on her. So she really needs to try and transition to that second side as quickly as possible so that she can get that block off the top. With 10 seconds to go, though, it doesn't look like it's going to happen here. And she is just starting on that second side at 1 minute 26 seconds. And that is going to be a DQ for Aude STIHL as the time limit is exceeded, unfortunately. But like I mentioned, this is a very, very difficult discipline to become good at, and then becoming good at it is one thing, becoming good and quick at it is another thing altogether.
So we have a disqualification for exceeding the time limit.
So here you can see her angles are actually very, very good. I mean, you know, it's going to be time on the block. That's really what this boils down to. There's that little skip I was talking about. Nothing tragic, but it's just about getting in that power and making sure that you really get as much out of that block with each driver as possible. Axe choice is very important in this case. The athletes will have test blocks in the paddocks in the back in order to give their axes a couple of tests to see if the banana blade or the half banana or the chisel, which axe works best for them. In the meantime, we're moving on to our next heat. Saskia van Drielen and Johanna Loretz. So Saskia is yet to log a best time, and Johanna Loretz has a personal best of 50.80. So both of these women are quite tall, and that is definitely an advantage because you could step back from the block and really use that length in order to get as much power into that axe as possible. And I see that it looks like both of our athletes, it looks like Johanna Loretz might have a half banana, can't really tell.
Okay,
no,
ladies.
that looks like it's a chisel, so here we go. Both of them are using chisels. That's their blade choice here for today.
3, 2, 1, go!
That was a very quick start by Saskia van Drielen, and I could see that Bart Janssen was already going to the mic. They might have to have a look at that from the competition control center to see if she maybe started a little bit too early. Meanwhile, Johanna Loretz really working that axe, and she is quick with the amount of drivers that she's putting in there. You can see she's shifted over to the other side of her block already. Saskia van Drielen putting some good power drivers in there as well, chipping out nicely. Johanna Loretz on the other side of her block as she's just passing the 33-second mark. And this may well be a good fast time for Johanna. Will she have a personal best on this one? It looks like she's getting fairly close to it. She's got to get a little bit faster than 50 seconds. And it's not going to happen for her today, unfortunately, but she's getting close to cutting through there. Saskia van Drielen should be shifting to the other side of her block fairly quickly. Oh, and both of them are now really struggling to get through, especially Johanna Loretz. She's done it in 1:05.60, so she has logged the time. And that means that Saskia van Drielen has to switch to the other side. You can see how tiring this is. It is incredibly taxing on the body. 10 seconds left for Saskia to try and get through that second side, and that's going to be a tough thing for her to do. She had a good clean cut on the first side. She just took a little bit too long to get there, and that is going to be a DQ for her as well. So the only time that has been logged in so far comes from Austria's Johanna Loretz.
So we have a disqualification for a false start. However, this cut is good.
I also kind of feel like the start for Saskia was a little bit ahead of the gun, which means that there may, I can't say for sure, but there may have been a DQ because of that, but that's a moot point at this stage now because she exceeded the time limit. Now you can see by Saskia's hits that she's quite accurate with her drivers. She just needs to try and apply that accuracy with a little bit more power. Johanna Loretz, meanwhile, has the only log time at 1:05.41, not her personal best, but she's happy to have a time in the blocks. And we're going to hear from her now.
Bei mir jetzt aus Österreich, Johanna Loretz. Johanna, wie geht's dir? Wie bist du angekommen hier in Wildhaus?
Mir geht's super. Ich wohne nur eine halbe Stunde von da. Und ja, ist voll schön da.
Wie bist du gerade gestartet jetzt hier, Standing Block Job? Wie bist du zufrieden mit deinem Durchgang?
Ja, die erste Sitte war gut, die zweite leider nicht so. Aber ja, wir haben es im Time-Limit geschafft, ist super. Passt.
Mit was für einer Aspiration bist du hier heute gestartet, hierher gekommen, um zu siegen, nehme ich an, oder?
Boah, einfach mitmachen und eine super Competition und die ganzen anderen Athletinnen treffen, ist super, ja.
So short and sweet, the question was, how's she doing? She said, just fine, thank you very much. Happy to get through that standing block chop. Not my best time, but that's okay. The rest, I had trouble really hearing it properly here. So I'll try and get a little bit of sound for the next one, and we'll be able to get a better translation for you.
Zurück ins Studio.
All right, so 2 heats are done and dusted. We are now getting into heat number 3 between Kat Eccles and Alren Ubing. They're taking the time now to just get the stage set as we get a couple of views of the nice area here in Wildhaus. It's a beautiful location. It's a little bit of rain falling. That doesn't affect the athletes on stage all that much because the stage is very well protected. However, the air temperature and the Luftfeuchtigkeit, they say in German, the amount of moisture in the air is something that does affect how the blocks get cut. Not massively, but when we're talking about, 2 and 3 second differences or even less, that can make a difference in how these athletes react. So Kat Eccles, personal best 55.05, and Alren Ubing, national record for Germany at 47.87, and she is incredibly strong. Both of these women have very, very good standings. So let's see how this comes together here in this heat number 3. And again, the blocks need to be cut through from both sides. You'll often see the athletes take, in the women's competition, 9 to 10 drivers on the first side, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on how the wood is cutting, and then switch to the other side to get through there as quickly as possible.
Okay, ladies.
Here we go.
Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, bang start for both of them as they got into it in sync with each other. And these two are really hitting heavy drivers into that block. Alrun Ubing got a couple of sticky ones there. And there is that angle that I was talking about earlier. Just jams down, and you can see twice now that's happened with Alrun, so she's got to be a little bit careful with the angle that she's cutting in at the top. Meanwhile, Kat Eccles is looking very good on that first side as she switches now over to the second side, and Alrun being a little bit more careful with her drivers going in on that first side, and she opts to just disappear from that first side and switch to the second side. Kat Eccles chipping out nicely. Her accuracy is very good as well. She's got some very smooth sides there, barely any salad at all. Nearing in on the 45-second mark, passing it now as both of them look really good. Kat Eccles, highly motivated by the looks of it to get a good time. She's not going to have her fastest time, I don't think. Maybe she will, and nope, she just missed out on it. And she's got it in 58.75, excuse me. Alrun Ubing still trying to get through on that second side. She stopped cutting on the first side because there was something that was obviously disturbing for her on that first side, and now she'll drop it at 1:12.87, so she'll have the third fastest time of the day. Kat Eccles with a blistering time of 58.75, under a minute there for her. Very nice job, and we'll get our final decision from Andy Hall here in the decision zone.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Alrun struggling on that first side a little bit. I'd like to see back what happened at the angle. You could see the axe slipped on her twice. So a good start by both of them, and they were literally in sync with each of their hits. Kat Eccles opting for one down, one up, one down. And there you can see the first slip of the axe from Alrun. And it's good that she had that control. Kat Eccles had one as well. I didn't see that. And this is why this is such a difficult discipline to become very good at. Kat Eccles with that final driver through, cutting it like butter. Good job by her to be under a minute at 58.53 official time. Alrun Ubing here, her last drivers to get that off as well at 1:12.64 after calculation. And what I mean by calculation is when the Competition Control Center gives the official thumbs up and makes any adjustments to the final time. Okay, our final heat here, heat number 4, between Juliana Einfalt and Rachel Farrington. And you can see both of them very, very close times for their personal bests.
Okay, ladies. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both getting right into it. Oh, Juliana Einfalt cutting really, really nicely there. Some big chips flying from her block. Rachel Farrington, same thing for her. She is in quite deep already early on in this heat here. So I would imagine we're seeing her switch to the other side fairly quickly. Juliana Einfalt over 1.5, 2 drivers ahead of Rachel Farrington on that second side. Rachel's on her second side now as well. This could be a close one between these two as they're really going at it hard and heavy to try and get through that second side of the block. Rachel Farrington may well have a good time here. She's got that wiggling and waggling already. Juliana Einfalt not too far away from it either. That is leaving a thin line there for both of them to try and cut through. And, oh, one more driver should do it for Juliana Einfalt. A national record for 47.14 for Austria from Juliana Einfalt. Rachel Farrington, she's got a hard spot there, and she can't just find the line through. Oh, little threads holding on, and it's a 58.26 for Rachel. Both of them under the minute mark, but a great job by Juliana Einfalt for the fastest time of the day and nailing down a national record. Well done. So that puts Juliana Einfalt at the top of the standing block chop results here.
Okay, congratulations. Both cats are good.
All right, so it's official. Juliana Einfalt with a 46.82 national record, and she was motivated to get through that block. She was hammering that thing very hard. Let's see here. A little sticky on that first driver. She opted to go back upstairs for 2 hits down and then go back down below. You can see how accurate those drivers are, though. Really, really clean lines. Got a little bit steppy as she got into it there on Rachel Farrington's. She's just getting in there with a lot of power, a lot of momentum in the axe head on that second side here. You can see, oh, Juliana thought that was going to go, and one more driver was what she needed to get it off. What a great job that she did, though. And a national record belongs to her, and that is a nightmare for our athletes when that final driver goes through and you think you got it, and it's a thread holding that block together at the top. Okay, let's take a look at our standing block chop results. So it's Juliana Einfalt, Rachel Farrington, and Kat Eccles in the top 3 positions, with Johanna Loretz and Aldrin Ubing in 4 and 5. The remaining 3 athletes are DQs or non-starters, as you see. So that will change things up in the overall standings here, as we'll take a look at that shortly when the changes a little. Yeah, there you go. Kat Eccles and Rachel Farrington change positions for the overall standings there. Juliana Einfalt takes over the top spot with 15 points. Kat Eccles not far behind with 14, and Rachel Farrington tied in 3rd right now with Johanna Loretz with 11 points. So, yep, this is going to start to get real interesting for our next 2 heats coming up, and we'll look forward to the single buck, otherwise known as the misery whip, as we'll take a quick look at the tool and discipline for single buck. The 2-meter-long cross-cut saw used for the single buck discipline is made especially for competition. A series of consistently patterned 10-centimeter-long teeth are cut with a laser on one side of the saw and then hand sharpened. Saw teeth are divided into 2 types, cutters and rakers, just like on the old-school saws. The saw weighs about 5 kilos and its base price starts at around €1,500. Single buck. The single buck is a one-man saw about 2 meters long. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc from a 40-centimeter thick wooden block. The perfect interplay between rhythm and strength is the key to success.
To look at the world from a new angle, you need to do things you've never done, and to get where you've never been. With new Jeep Avenger 4xe, the North Face Edition.
All right, so here we have our lineup for single buck, and STIHL in the mix with Kat Eccles, Julia Barwicki against Saskia van Drielen, Johanna Loretz up against Rachel Farrington, and Aldrin Ubing and Juliana Einfalt in heat number 4. As you see there, the world record 14.27 seconds, so it's quick. Single buck is one of the most fun disciplines, and also can be one of the most frustrating disciplines. As you see, those 2-meter long crosscut saws are heavy, Once they sit in the wood, they'll do the work on their own if you allow them. But you have to have the right kind of flow. You have to have good rhythm. You have to keep that saw moving. And if you change the angle even slightly, it will lock up and live up to its name, as they say, the misery whip. So it's real important to make sure that you keep that saw moving straight and you don't angle it at all during the cuts, so that you can make sure that you have an efficient cut. Now, you're going to see different styles up on stage during the single buck disciplines. Some will see fast, quick cuts with just using the middle section of the saw. Others will have slower looking cuts, but they'll use the entire length of the saw, which is also very efficient. So let's see how these two lock in with each other.
Athlete, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, very nice start. Kat Eccles got a little bit of a sticky one on the push through, but then she reacted quickly and kept that saw moving. Now she is using a very good portion of the length of that saw. STIHL as well, though. You can see she's getting right into it, driving through the back leg, pushing through her hips. A little bit sticky there for her as well. Coming close to the bottom of the cut here. Now we have to be wary that you don't twist or turn that saw at all to break off a cookie. Doesn't look like that's going to be an issue for STIHL, as Kat Eccles does it in 36.44. And STIHL's got herself a personal best 38.07. Very nicely done.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, STIHL with a 37.76 official time, personal best, and Kat Eccles with a 36.18. Kat Eccles, the faster of the two times, moves to the top of the single buck standings. And we'll take a look back here. So right there you can see Kat, just a little angle change. The saw stopped on her. It was early in the cut though, so she reacted without panicking, got that saw moving again, and then just got into her flow and her rhythm. STIHL also had a little bit of a choppy midsection as the saw stopped on her through the bottom of her cut, and then she managed to get it back moving again and got through the cut well. So we have our first two times on the deck here for our single buck heat number 1. Setting up for single buck heat number 2, Julia Barwicki up against Saskia van Drielen. As I mentioned off the top of the show, Julia Barwicki, she is a diminutive young girl, but she has a skill level and a strength that is hidden in there somewhere. So we'll see. She holds the national record for this discipline. So it'll be interesting to see how she does against Saskia van Drielen, who also holds the national record for the Netherlands and is slightly faster than Julia by about 8 seconds. And there's a great view of the cleats from Saskia van Drielen. You'll see some athletes will wear cleats, some opt to just go with normal flats. The cleats offer a little bit more bite into the floor.
Okay,
and in this case, both athletes are wearing cleats, so
Athlete,
we'll see
ready.
how that affects their
Stand to your
cut.
timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
A little bit of hop by Saskia van Drielen there. She had to lift it to pull it back. Julia Barwicki, meanwhile, has gotten into a nice flow on her cut. And you can see now those cleats really providing a lot of bite into the floor so she could push off that back leg, really use the hip twist and the power through her cut to get close to the bottom. Saskia van Drielen getting a little bit sticky on the bottom end of her cut. Julia Barwicki looking good. She got a little bit sticky there and had to hop the saw back. And oh my goodness, trouble at the bottom for both of these athletes. But we have good times, 33.84 for Saskia van Drielen and a 35.34 for Julia Barwicki, and Julia would have had that probably in about 31 seconds without that stickiness at the bottom, and it was just small angle change that we saw there. So maybe we'll see that in the replay, and you'll be able to notice those moments when it did get a bit sticky down there at the bottom.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
So fair cuts again, and we have 4 times in the blocks. Saskia van Drielen at the moment with the fastest cut, and she takes over the top of the single buck standings. And you can see here, she had a little bit of a sticky one at the top there, and she had to hop the saw back and get that cut going. Meanwhile, the early cuts for Julia Barwicki were very nice. Just at the bottom here, yeah, you can see the angle changes were just a little bit too much as she tried to quick cut the bottom, and that caused about a 3-second delay in finally getting through that cut. And oh, there she had to go back in. Yes, big problem there as she twisted the saw, and so she didn't have a clean cut. There was a little tab left at the bottom, and that means she had to replace the saw and get that tab off in order for it to be a complete cookie. So I did not see that in the live heat, and yeah, that was a huge problem for her. Otherwise, that would have been a much, much, much faster time. Okay, Johanna Loretz up against Rachel Farrington. Johanna's personal best time, 25.47. If she can get even close to that, she should move to the top of the list here. And meanwhile, Rachel Farrington holds a national record for Great Britain at 21.87, and she's going to be holding no prisoners here in this heat as she tries to get through that block as quickly as possible. Advantage to Johanna Loretz is that she is quite tall, so she can step well back from that block and really use the height to her advantage to make sure that she can draw that saw through the wood and use the entire length of that 2-meter long single buck.
Okay, ladies. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good start by Johanna Loretz. Got to remember to breathe. Very often athletes will get into this discipline and they will hold their breath throughout the entire heat. And that is just the worst thing you could do because you're not feeding the muscles. Rachel Farrington, meanwhile, she is feeding that block a lesson as she gets to the bottom of this. Looks like it's going to be a real good time for her as well. Oh, she got a bit sticky at the bottom, and it is a 26.97. Johanna Loretz is getting close to the bottom as hers as well, 32.78. So we have a couple of good times. Rachel Farrington takes over the top spot. Johanna Loretz slips into second place with a 32.78. Good fast cuts for both of these women.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, so looking back here, you can see Johanna Loretz got into that cut right away, and she just kept that flow going. Rachel Farrington, lots of power, but really utilizing the entire length of the saw. You can see she got a little bit caught up close to the bottom of her cut, and there, just a little hiccup, but she was still quick. And at the bottom, Johanna Loretz nice and clean through. That was a quick cut at the bottom, maybe shortcut it a little bit as we set up for our next heat between Alren Übing and Juliana Einfalt. These two have been up against each other many times in the past, so they know each other well on stage. You can see Alren Übing, an absolute master, European title, speed at 17.97. That is quick.
Okay, ladies. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Slightly faster start by Aldrin Ubing as she gets right into the flow here. She needs some good time and good points here if she wants to get back into the mix right now. She is currently sitting at 7th place out of 8 athletes here. It looks good for her at the moment, though. Juliana Einfalt also looking quite good. Nice time by Aldrin Ubing. She takes over the top spot in the heats here with a 20.23. Juliana Einfalt, got a little bit tired towards the bottom of that cut shot. Thought she could shortcut it, and she's got a 30.08, so that puts her in 3rd place in single. So those are some important points for Aldrin Ubing, because that's going to help her move into the top 5 for the moment.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, so that is the last heat for our single saw. We'll take a look back here. You can see Aldrin just got right into it. Her flow, her practice movements on this discipline are so good. Juliana Einfalt in the top of the cuts were no problem. Where she had problems was at the very bottom of her cut, and I think she might have gotten a little bit tired. And you can see Aldrin getting to the bottom of her cut here. A really nice final push through. And I think there might be a little bit of an angle also on Juliana Einfalt's saw as she tried to get a quick cut there and had to do one final pull through to get that cookie off. Maybe would have saved her about a half second on the quick cut, but that pullback caused her a little bit of time. So single buck standings, Aldrin Ubing with a 20.02 in the lead there. Rachel Farrington and Juliana Einfalt in 2nd and 3rd places respectively. Johanna Loretz, Saskia van Drielen, Kat Eccles, Aude Seel, and Julia Barwicki rounding out the remaining positions. As we take a look now at the overall standings, Juliana Einfalt now in the lead by 3 points with 21, just ahead of Rachel Farrington, who has 18 points, and Kat Eccles in 3rd place with 17. Johanna Loretz with 16 and Aldrin Ubing with 14. So with a good underhand chop, Aldrin Ubing could move in, and we're going to hear from her right now.
Aldrin, eine Ansage beim Singlebuck. Wie bist du zufrieden nach deiner Leistung?
Ich bin zufrieden. Die Säge lief und ich habe keinen Haker gehabt. Ich bin zufrieden.
So that was a sign that you want to be in there, and she's satisfied with the cut, and she's absolutely satisfied. Yep.
Spikes, und damit ich einen besseren Halt habe, damit ich nicht wegrutsche, deswegen habe ich die angezogen.
Yeah, she wore the spikes so that she could have better hold, so that she could get a better licing or a better move through the saw.
1000 Meter über Meer bist, macht das was mit dir als Athletin, wenn du in der Höhe bist?
Ich habe das am Donnerstag gemerkt. Donnerstag bin ich angekommen. Ich war total müde. Auch gestern war ich total müde durch die Höhe. Aber ich glaube, es war ganz gut.
The question was about the altitude, if that affects her as an athlete. And she said on Thursday she was here and she could feel it, but she's gotten used to it until now, and it's all good.
Es hat mir nicht geschadet, nein.
Was hast du für ein Ziel heute noch? Haust du jetzt noch einen raus in der 4. Disziplin?
Ich muss endlich mal einen raushauen.
So what's the target here for the day? Are you going to really go for it in this 4th discipline? And she says, yep, absolutely have to do it. So Aldrin Ubing motivated to get there and really hammer away at it in this last discipline. She needs to. She needs these points, and if she wants to be on that podium today. And we've seen this situation with Aldrin in the past. She's such a strong competitor, and if she has any kind of luck in the underhand chop, which is a strong discipline for her, then she should be among the top 3 there, but she's going to have to go up against these other athletes who are very, very strong as well. You know, this is Captain Obvious talking over here, but anything can happen in this last discipline, the underhand chop, and let's take a quick look at the discipline that we're going to be coming into as our final discipline of the day.
Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes use an axe to cut through a 30-centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides.
All right, underhand chop coming up next. Then we have Saskia van Drielen, Aude Seele. And heat number 2, Kat Eccles, Julia Barwicki. Heat 3, Julian Einfalt, Rachel Farrington. And heat 4, Johanna Loretz and Alrun Ubing. So Alrun can watch this as she is in that last heat and know if she really has to go for it or if she can, you know, ease back on her drives a little bit. I kind of think that she's not even going to bother holding back 1 ounce. She's going to go for it and give it her all to try and get through this heat as quickly as possible. As I mentioned, she needs those points, and she is currently sitting in 5th place in the overall standing. So if she can have a really good heat here, then I expect that she might move up quite well in the rankings. Let's see. She has a 56-second underhand chop, so theoretically speaking, she can do it. All right, first heat coming up, Saskia van Drielen and Aude Seele. Both of them just past the minute mark. Are we going to have good luck with the blocks here and good axe choices for these two athletes? We will see. Again, same situation. The blocks have to be cut through from both sides.
Okay, ladies. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good start by Saskia van Drielen. She got right into it. Aude Seele, same thing. Nice big chip there for Saskia. That got out quickly. Aude Seele looking to find that line in her block, and she's picking up the pace a little bit. Saskia going for the power drivers, trying to get those big chips out. Aude Seele working on a little bit more often, bringing the drivers into that block, a faster pace, but Saskia van Drielen moving over to the other side of her block, ahead of Aude Seele, about 3 drivers ahead now, and she'll go for that second side now. Some nice big chips. You can see the power that Saskia has, and the accuracy is very good there. Aude Seele looking good as well. It's looking like it's wiggling a little bit for Aude Seele. Is she going to be able to get through there faster than Saskia van Drielen? This would be amazing times for both of them if they could do it, as they just getting to the 55-second mark here. Oh, and Saskia's got a national record for the Netherlands with 57.56, and a personal best for Aude Seele with 1:03.31. Fantastic hits for both of these women. Great job, but really nicely done by Saskia van Drielen, a national record. You can see those power drivers going in there, the big chips flying away from that block. Fantastic.
Okay, congratulations. Both kids are good.
You can see here, this is Aude Seele, and there's Saskia van Drielen just driving those huge hits into the block, huge pieces of the wood flying out, those chips. Did a great job, and you can see that first side. The nice accurate drivers, good smooth sides, nice clean hits, and that all factors into a really fast time, and an excellent 57.28 for Saskia van Drielen. So that applies a lot of pressure now on Alrun Ubing if she wants to get up there, because that's around her personal best time. So she's got a little bit of waiting to got in front of her before she gets to that heat, because we have 2 more heats before then. Next heat coming up will be Kat Eccles going up against Julia Barwicki. watched Julia Barwicki at the French National Championships, and everybody was really, really impressed at this young woman and how well she chopped in this discipline. And you can see she holds the national record with a time of 58.34. Kat Eccles also pretty fast with a 58.98. So I would say Tail of the Tape has these two pretty well matched up.
Okay, ladies. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Kat Eccles, Julia Barwicki getting into it. Nice pace. Oh, look at the accuracy there by Julia. Really, really good. And this is usually the first discipline that you learn in wood chopping with an axe in the hand, so that you can make sure you get that accuracy and you get that pace. Kat Eccles moving over to the second side of her block. I'm going to say now a good 5 or 6 drivers ahead of Julia Barwicki. She did step down briefly, but got back up before moving in. Julia Barwicki moves over to the second side of her block now. Getting to the 40-second mark on that second side. It's looking good for both of them. Could we have really fast times? Oh, we do. We have personal best for Kat Eccles of 44.18, and the times continue to get faster and faster on this underhand chop. Julia Barwicki may well get there as well. She's looking like she's coming close to splitting it, and she's done it. Another national record for Julia Barwicki, a 57.52. And I think that might even be quicker once the Competition Control Center timing gets their hands on it and makes the adjustment. They do, in fact, a 57.24. So Kat Eccles with a fast time, 43.90. And so far we have 2 personal bests and 2 national records in here. What a run in the underhand chop for our women today. Fantastic. See both of them really working it. Interestingly, Julia Barwicki doesn't take the axe all the way up. Her pace is quick, but she isn't using the amount of drive from on high like Kat Eccles does. Kat Eccles slightly faster, 13 seconds in fact. But wow, really nice run from Julia Barwicki as well. So that, again, applies even more pressure. But the way that these blocks are chopping here today, it just tells me that we may see good times across the board for our underhand chops. At least that would be my hope, because I love seeing those personal bests drop and fly by the wayside. That tells you everything you need to know about the development of women's timber sports, which we always love to see. And, you know, it just makes it that much more interesting to watch. So with that time, Kat Eccles takes over the top spot in the overall standings, currently with 25 points, but we have to see if that time stands. Right now, she's holding 8 points in the underhand chop. That adds to her overall standings, but we still have Juliana Einfalt, Rachel Farrington, Johanna Loretz, and Alrin Ubing to chop in the next 2 heats. So those points may well get switched around. Some, we'll see. It's going to come down to those last bits of chops there as we look at the Swiss Alps in this lovely town here, Wildhaus. And of course, the audience that's come out to join us today. Sun is shining a little bit. There is some cloud cover, but the rain has stopped, so you can see the umbrellas are down and the people are enjoying some nice fresh air and some nice timber sports. There we have the mom and dad for one of our staff members hanging out and watching what their daughter does on a regular basis, setting up the cameras and everything that happens on stage. And of course, Guido and Sean taking care of our live stream for our German fans and keeping everybody informed as we get into our next heat with Juliana Einfalt and Rachel Farrington. Look at those times. 34.92, national record for Austria by Juliana Einfalt. If she can keep consistent with that, well, she'll be on top again. And let's see how she does with the cut today. Did she make the right axe choice? And is everything going to be running clean for her? We will see. Rachel Farrington, we know she can cut underhand, and her pace is usually quite quick. Let's see how much training these women have put into this discipline.
Okay, ladies. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Both of them getting into it. Juliana Einfalt, nice big chips coming out. She's got plenty of power. Rachel got a little bit of a sticky axe there, but she got it out fairly quickly, and she too is quite accurate on that left-hand side of her cuts. Looking good on the right. Ah, yeah, Juliana Einfalt with some really nice cuts there as she switches over to the second side of her block. Maybe one driver behind Rachel Farrington. Shipping out nicely as she looks to try and get through that block quickly. Rachel Farrington doing well on her second side as well. Juliana Einfalt looking like she's got the advantage for the depth of cut now. Maybe fairly close for Juliana. Rachel Farrington aiming to get some speed in there, and she's done it. Juliana Einfalt, 46.04. So not the fastest time here today, but she will slip into second place in the underhand chop standings. Rachel Farrington struggling to find the line through that block here as she has passed the minute mark. She's got to be careful that she doesn't go too long on this second side. She might have shortcut that first side and come over too early, left too much material on that second side, but this is an unusually long cut for her as now she's got about 10 seconds to get through that block before the timeout, and this could be a problem for her as she is not looking like she is quite there, and she's getting tired. Oh no, and that's going to be a DQ for Rachel Farrington. That's going to be no points for her. And the whistle blast goes, and yeah, she'll be looking back at that one and trying to figure out what happened there.
So, we have a disqualification for exceeding the time limit. However, this cut is good.
All right, so Kat Eccles still holds on to the top spot in the underhand chop with a 43.90 personal best. Juliana Einfalt, good time, but not quite as fast as her previous personal best, but she'll take it at a 45.79, sitting in second place. That puts her back atop the overall standings as we take a look back here at those drivers from Juliana. Nice clean sides, no salad at all. Big, powerful hits, and she chipped out really nicely. You could see those pieces flying. On the second side, Rachel, I don't know what happened there. She just struggled. Maybe it was a shortcut on the first side, as I mentioned. It looked like it was deep enough on that first side, but maybe she just ran into something in the block. It's natural product. That's happened sometimes, and you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles, for lack of a better description here. All right, so our next heat and final heat in the competition coming up between Johanna Loretz and Alrun Übing. Both of them really, really fast times. Alrun Übing, national record 34.45. So if she can get close to that, we should see her move up in the rankings quite significantly. Kat Eccles currently sitting in second place with 25 points. Now, if Alrun can get a full 8 out of this one, should move her into the top 3 position.
Okay, ladies. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
So Alrun needs to have the fastest time of the day if she wants to have a podium finish here. And Johanna Loretz is not going to let her have that easily, as she is really quick into that block. Alrun Übing should be switching to the other side fairly quickly. You can see the pace from Alrun is quite quick, and Johanna Loretz moving over to the other side has to get her balance. Alrun moves over, putting a foot down. 25 seconds passed here now. 10 seconds to get through that block in order to get a good time in and perhaps get a podium spot. Oh, I don't think it's going to happen today, though. Let's see. Johanna Loretz with a 37.54 is through. Alrun Ubing with a 45.0. And that means Alrun Ubing second fastest in the underhand. Johanna Loretz wins the underhand, and that means Alrun Ubing will not have a podium spot here today, unfortunately. But that's going to be a big move up for Johanna Loretz.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
And a personal best for Johanna Loretz. Very, very nice cuts for both of these women. So Johanna obviously been working hard on this discipline. You can see just putting everything into it. The pace is quite quick as well from Johanna. There you see the feet of Alrun Ubing. She's got the power in there. She's got the alignment and the accuracy. Each driver going in. She did have a step down when she turned around, so that cost her a little bit of time and efficiency. And that was the difference maker, really, because she wasn't that far behind Johanna Loretz. But Johanna, big smile on her face as she's super happy to get through. A little bit of a straight cut in and a bounce for Alrun Ubing there. And it was one extra driver, and that cost her perhaps 1 second. So underhand chop, Johanna Loretz with the fastest time of the day, 37.31 personal best. Alrun Ubing in second in the underhand, and Kat Eccles in third with a really nice personal best, 43.90. You see Julia Barwicki, another national record for her with a 57.24. Saskia van Drulen also taking a national record down. And in the final results, we're looking at Juliana Einfalt in the top spot, Johanna Loretz in the second position. That means these two will be 1 and 2 on the podium, and Kat Eccles from Great Britain will be third on the podium. So we have two Austrians at the DACH Women's Final 2025. A great job, a really excellent competition here today as the stage will get cleaned up and ready for our awards ceremony.
Und eine überraschte Juliana Einfalt hier bei mir im Interview. Juliana, wieso bist du überrascht?
Why are you surprised?
Ja, ich glaube,
Yeah,
das
because
kann
I
man
got
so
the
sagen,
win.
definitiv. Du hast heute eine Wahnsinnsleistung gezeigt. Was war dein Erfolgsrezept? Was hat heute besonders gut geklappt?
Einfach Kopf ausschalten und die Disziplinen nacheinander abarbeiten.
So what was the difference maker here? She said just turn her brain off and do the work and get the chops in.
Was war da los? Was konntest du abrufen?
Ja, einfach die Kraft, die Technik, den Winkel, alles.
So what was the difference
Bist
maker
du
here?
zum
Yeah,
ersten
the
Mal
power,
hier in Wildhaus
the
oder hat
angles,
vielleicht auch
everything
so
together.
Die Umgebung, sage ich mal, noch ihren Beitrag dazu geleistet, dass du dich hier oben wohlgefühlt hast.
Also ich bin das erste Mal in Wildhaus. Also in der Schweiz war ich dann schon öfter, aber die Umgebung, die Kulisse.
So it's her first time in Wildhaus here. She's been more times
haben wir
in
auch noch ein
Switzerland,
Publikum hier vor Ort,
but
das
she
sich
really
auch
enjoyed it
tatkräftig
today.
oder euch tagkräftig unterstützt hat. Wie fest merkt man das überhaupt als Athletin auf der Bühne?
Riesen, mega groß.
So did you feel that the support from the audience? Yeah, it was huge. It was absolutely
Ein
fantastic.
Applaus für die Damen und Herren hier vor Ort. Juliana Einfalt aus Österreich mit dem ersten Platz. Wir kommen gleich
Juliana
zur
Einfalt from
Siegerehrung
Austria is
auf der
our
Bühne.
winner
Zurück
here
ins
today.
Studio.
All right, so short and sweet interview with Juliana Einfalt, who really was very, very consistent throughout the day. You know, if we look at the way things went for her throughout the day, stock saw, she was in second place, the standing block. She had the top spot, single buck. She was in third place, and in the underhand chop, she was in fourth place. So that's really consistent among the top 3 to 4 in each of the disciplines, and that played a massive, massive, massive role. Johanna Loretz as well, staying very consistent throughout the day. In stock saw, she was in that third position, standing block. She was down in fourth. Single buck, also there in 4th place, and the underhand chop. I mean, you know, she had the fastest time of the day with that 37:31. So really, really good job by her. And of course, Kat Eccles was solid throughout the day. The only one hiccup for Kat Eccles was in the single buck, where she was down in 6th place. But other than that, she was super consistent throughout the day. And that tells you everything you need to know about our top 3. We'll bring all our athletes up on stage for the award ceremony, including our top 3 in the bronze, silver, and gold medal positions, respectively, Kat Eccles, Johanna Loretz, and our winner today, Juliana Eidenfalt. So it looks like Guido and Sean were expecting something else to happen there on screen, and it didn't go for them. And so we're going to stick with them for a moment as they are doing the final preparation on stage for our award ceremony. Big shout out to the crew here. It's like it's almost like a pit crew, and they get the stage prepared for each of these disciplines. They clean the stage, which is super important, and make sure that everything is ready to go for our events and our awards ceremony. And now coming up onto the stage, the managing director of STIHL Switzerland, Ralf Turke, who will be there to give the handover of our prizes to our athletes as they come up onto stage. So as predicted, we'll bring up the athletes in reverse order. So in 8th place, Julia Barwicki from France. In 7th place, we'll bring up Aude Seele, also from France.
Auf Platz Nummer 7, eine Gratulation für Frankreich, Aude Seele. Aus den Niederlanden,
And from the
Saskia
Netherlands,
van
in 6th
Drielen.
place, Saskia van Drielen. She was quite consistent throughout the day. Only one disqualification in the standing block chop. And as I said, really difficult discipline to become super solid in.
Großbritannien, Rachel Farrington.
And next up
Herzlichen
in
Applaus.
5th place, Rachel Farrington.
Aus Deutschland.
So just a couple of seconds difference was the
Aus
difference
Deutschland.
maker for
Alun
Alrun Übing,
Übing.
who is in 4th place, just missing out on the podium by a couple of points. Alrun going to go and shake everybody's hands. This is very much a team sport in a lot of ways, because these women are all helping each other out consistently to make sure that they improve the level at every step of the way. All right, now it is time for our top 3.
Wir kommen zu den Podestplätzen.
All right, in the bronze position, we have out of Great Britain, Kat Eccles in 3rd place.
Platz Nummer 3. Aus Großbritannien, Catherine Eccles.
Ralf Turke doing the honors of handing over the bronze medal to Kat. All right, next up, our silver medalist today from Austria, Johanna Loretz.
Timbersports. Aus Österreich, Johanna Loretz.
And our silver medalist, Johanna Loretz, happy with a great, great, great underhand chop, winning that discipline and getting a personal best out of that one. And now, our winner here today, yep, our first ever DACH champion, it is from Austria, Juliana Einfalt.
Ebenfalls aus Österreich entsprechend, Juliana Einfalt.
She didn't expect this win. She was surprised by getting that top spot on the podium. She shouldn't have been, though, because her performance was outstanding today. Consistent throughout the day, strong performances when she needed it, and the points were there. And she is our first ever DACH women's winner as she receives the gold medal and her top spot trophy. Big congratulations to all three on the podium, and of course all of our women participating today. It is a fantastic result.
Vor der Siegerin, die österreichische Nationalhymne.
So now the part that everybody loves to see, the champagne showers, as our three athletes on top of the podium will drop and pop. Hopefully we'll get a champagne shower for all of our participants, or we'll see them scatter like crazy on stage. It's always fun to watch that. One final picture here with everybody nice and tight in close on the stage there.
Auch für die Athletinnen natürlich immer speziell in so einem Rahmen.
All right, so before we get the champagne shower pictures, back in studio with Guido and Sean, who've done a really excellent job today taking care of our German stream as always, and we look forward to seeing them again later on this afternoon when our men come on stage for the STIHL Timbersports DACH Pro Final 2025. It is the World Championship format. That is starting at 2 p.m. Central European Standard Time, so do join us for that. And in the meantime, we'll hopefully get some final pictures of our champagne shower on stage and say our goodbyes and hope you enjoyed today's show. Thanks a lot for joining us. I'm out, and we'll let the rest of the pictures speak for themselves. Enjoy, folks. Take care and have a good day, and we'll see you later on this afternoon at 2 p.m.